graduate over time. Kan? Okay, so you can choose lah either two, yang mana satu kan. Okay. My name is Sharun Riza bin Mokhtar. I'm head of currently I'm head of Department of Postgraduate Studies, Faculty of Civil Engineering and Built Environment, formerly known as FCAS. Okay, so now we have a new name. We call it FCAP and FCAP. So all the program, postgraduate program for PhD, master coursework and master by research in this faculty under my coordination. Okay, a little bit about myself. My name is Sharun Riza again bin Mokhtar, and my academic background, my diploma and also my bachelor degree, my first degree from this university. Okay, formerly known as KUITO, formerly known as ITO, formerly known as ITO, formerly known as PLSP. So I'm the one batch yang KUITO ni lah. Ada yang batch KUITO ke dalam ni? Ada. Mungkin yang online ni ada yang ikut, yang apa? Yang batch KUITO lah. Ada. My master degree from UTM and my PhD from Kyushu University, Japan. Okay, Fukuoka Prefecture. Kyushu University ni located at Fukuoka Prefecture. So my career started as a site engineer, tutor, project engineer, civil engineer, and finally lecturer lah, insyaAllah until retire. So this is my passion lah. Dah try jadi engineer, so macam tak boleh lah kot, kena jadi lecturer kot, baru boleh. Rasa macam passion dia kat situ lah. My research area, okay, research area, I have four main research areas lah, which is structural engineering, impact engineering, computational modeling. My PhD ni lah, computational modeling. Okay, I'm using SPH method. Okay, and also sustainable construction material. So if you are now in master program and would like to start to further your study to PhD level under this research area, so insyaAllah I can be your supervisor. Promote sikit. Yang civil lah, Kalau yang mechanical tu sorry lah, tak boleh lah jadi your supervisor. Okay, this is my presentation outline. Actually, I'm not giving, the tips how to write the paper with high impact journal paper lah, or Q1, Q2 paper. So this is not the session. This session is just only giving you an idea how to organize your thesis and then how to present from your thesis. Because you have very limited time. For PhD 3 years, for master by research 2 years. So how can you publish very high impact journal paper, sebab dia punya review process dia is take more than 1 year sometime. Kan? So you have to fulfill just the minimum requirement kan, to graduate lah. So after dah graduate, dah habis Viva Boce, then you can go for Q1, Q2 or high impact journal, boleh lah, go for it. Kan? So untuk yang this session, I'm just sharing how to organize your thesis, and then from your thesis, you can actually start to write first paper and then second paper, and to fulfill your requirement lah, graduation requirement. So I will go year by year. From semester 1, we talk about the academic regulation, the conformity requirement. So what you have to know about the academic regulation. If you don't know the academic regulation of your program, then how can you plan? Because study program or research program is all about planning. Macam kita nak buat rumah kan, when we construct a building, so we have to come up with the program, the work program. And so same goes to the PhD study or your master research study. You have to start with the plan. So how to start your plan? You have to know your academic regulation, the conformant requirement, how many paper that you have to publish, and so on. Okay, so later on we go for this lah. And then I will also share about the planning for each year, thesis outline, and also publish article. So during your first year, you have to publish at least one article lah for proceeding, okay? Or for journal lah kalau boleh. So later on kita akan cuba explore. And finally, saya bagi sedikit tips lah about how to face your Viva Boce session. Just very simple tips lah. Saya akan cuba rungkaikan kesemuanya insyaAllah. Yeah. So this is not a lecture series. So you can interrupt me, you can ask many questions. any question, okay, during my presentation, tak ada masalah. Okay, kita just borak-borak aje. Okay. So penonton di studio, ini studio lah, dan juga penonton di rumah free to ask any question. Okay. Dia macam siri TV program kan. Tanyalah ustaz contohnya tu kan. Ni yang kat studio lah. Okay. So this is academic regulation for UTHM. I'm not sure if the participant outside UTHM, so you have to check the regulation at your institution lah. I noticed that there are a few friends, online participant from Indonesia ada kan. Indonesia, from UiTM, from Unimap ada juga yang tanya saya dia nak join this sharing session. So you have better check with your own program or your own institution lah. What is the academic regulation? So this is the academic regulation extracted from UTHM punya peraturan. Tahu kan? This peraturan. The minimum maximum period of study, tahu? Berapa tahun? Oh, you apa? PhD. Master tahu berapa tahun? Minimum program. Tahun? Maksimum? Tak boleh check. You kena check lah, kena tahu. Minimum berapa tahun, berapa semester, maksimum berapa semester kan? You kena tahu. To avoid GOT, graduate overtime kan? So planning tu penting lah. So how can you plan without knowing this academic regulation? So we have to plan properly your study program. Deferment process. Deferment apa? Tangguh pengajian. How to defer your program. In the process, how many time you can defer? How many time? 2, confirm. So see, kena check lah tu, all those requirement. Kena check how many times you can defer. And then you have to complete university compulsory course. Kan? Biasanya research methodology lah. And ada lagi course yang you kena ambil. Titas ada, kena ambil titas kan? Macam tak kan? Not sure lah, not sure. In UTM, if I'm not mistaken, they have to take another courses. I'm not sure, kalau tak silap saya, entrepreneurship macam tu. Tak silap saya lah, UTM. So you have to better check with your own program lah. Kalau civil engineering memang kita ada satu course lah, research methodology. Okay. So this is the important one. Akhir ni, conformant requirement. Okay. In order to get your certificate of master and PhD, so you have to pass this one. Okay. Master should have one publication, Scopus, ISI, proceeding or journal. Proceeding or journal. So bukan journal lah. Tahu kan ni? Requirement tahu kan? And then PhD, 2 Scopus. And 2 paper indexed by Scopus or ISI, proceeding or journal. If you go both journals, lagi bagus lah. Kan? Kenapa? Ada soalan?
I have one question. What I know is actually for master or PhD student, they have to go with journal compared to proceedings not correct.
This is taken from the academic regulation punya peraturan. I'm not sure lah whether they have a new regulation. Ada keluar.
It must be journal.
Dia yang penting index by Scopus. Kena IOP kan, proceeding IOP kan. IOP kan index by Scopus. So it can be counted lah as the index by Scopus. Kalau saya ada terlepas information, so please let me know. Kan? So this is exactly extract from the peraturan akademik lah. Proceeding or journal, but compulsory indexed by Scopus. Okay. So, kalau you punya target tinggi tu, dua journal Scopus. Kan. check betul-betul balik sebelum dengan CGS. Okay, planning. This is for first year ataupun first semester student lah. How to plan your PhD program. So this is for PhD. Kita pergi dulu yang PhD. Okay, the minimum period of study is 6 semester. Okay, semester 1 complete research methodology course. Dah complete dah. Sekarang semua semester berapa? Semester 5. Kalau semester 5 ni dia dah pergi proposal 2 punya presentation lah. Ada yang first semester? First semester ada? Yang dalam penonton di studio ni ada? Tak ada, mungkin penonton yang di rumah ada kot yang first semester. So if you are in the first semester, then you can try to use this planning lah, kan. Semester 1 complete all the research methodology course. Kalau dah pernah ambil research methodology course during your master program, because you currently mungkin dalam PhD program, so boleh dapat pengecualian exemption, kan. So semester tu dah kena buat proposal defense presentation lah. Mesti semester 2 tu. Kalau nak GOT lah. Kalau nak GOT yang satu lagi tu mungkin tak kisahlah semester berapa pun boleh present proposal. Tapi kalau nak GOT yang tu kan GOT ada 2 kan. So kena semester 2 tu dah start ni lah present proposal lah. Okay. And then publish one confirm paper. For at least confirm paper. Confirm paper publish by Scopus. Dia ada banyak, dulu kita ada Webmatek, tapi Webmatek tu dah discontinue daripada Scopus. So sekarang ni IOP lah, IOP Conference Series. Yang tu pun kalau tak salah saya memang counted as ni lah, graduation punya regulation. Ataupun later nanti kita check dengan CGS. So semester 3 research progress, sambung lah, continue. Semester 3, semester 4 dah kena buat research progress presentation 1 and for at least publish one journal paper from your chapter 4 or chapter 5. Basically chapter 4, chapter 5 itu dah result lah. Kan? Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 is all about still lagi planning. Methodology, research, literature review, introduction. Nanti later on kita akan cuba breakdown lagi apa benda ada dalam start chapter tu. So semester 5, you are in semester 5 kan tadi kawan kita kat you are in semester 5 kan. Semester 5 supposed to be dah pergi pada research progress presentation tu. Okay, tu dalam planning lah. So semester 6 tu yang semester akhir tu dah Reviva dan juga at least kalau nak ni this is orang kata option lah, nak publish satu lagi journal paper option. So dia nak pergi high quality journal punya high impact journal ke boleh masa dah semester 6 ni. Yang penting yang minimum tu 2 papers tu dah fulfill lah, dah publish. Ni untuk master research lah. Master research tadi ada 4 semester kan. So of course semester 1 tu kena complete research methodology course. Semester 2 proposal defense presentation and then publish one confirm paper. Semester 3 research progress presentation and semester 4 Reviva. Option juga kalau nak publish satu journal paper option untuk master, sebab yang penting you have publish at least one minimum number of paper one untuk master by research. Okay, so basically this is the planning lah. Kita boleh merancang, Tuhan menentukan segala-galanya. So kita boleh rancang ni lah kan, tapi mesti ada perancangan. Nak buat research ni kena ada perancangan. Kalau tak ada perancangan dia macam start dia enroll program, semester 1 dah enroll program research, dah tahu nak buat apa dah. Semester 1 nak buat apa, semester 2 buat apa, 3 buat apa, 4 buat apa, dah ada planning tu. Kalau tak ada planning tu yang masalah sikit kan, sebab research is not structured program. I mean they're independent. It depend on how disciplined you are. Dan kalau coursework ni kita ada timetable kan. Kemudian tu kita kena masuk kelas, ada exam dan sebagainya. Tapi kalau research program ni very independent. It depend on how you manage your time kan. Okay, so this is all about planning lah. Okay. Year 1 again, year 1 is about direction. Okay, direction, working out your topic, doing literature reading, devising research plan, planning milestone for each year. So each year you have the milestone. And year 1 also you have to again complete research methodology course, complete proposal presentation, okay, getting into a good routine for thesis work, time management, 8 to 5, every day, 8 to 5. Kalau saya kat Jepun dulu, 7-11, dia panggil 7-11. Dia punya term lah 7-11, tapi taklah pukul 7 pagi kan. Dia punya culture lah, Japanese culture, we have to arrive at the university before our supervisor arrive. And we can back home, okay, after our supervisor leaving the campus. Tu culture dia tak ada bukan dalam academic regulation pun tak ada. Tetapi tu culture dia. Jadi saya pun dah terbiasa. Nak datang tu mesti supervisor sampai dulu kan. So bila dah jadi macam tu, dia dah jadi macam rutin lah tu saya kata tadi. Getting into good routine, dah jadi macam rutin, dah biasa dah. So balik mesti malam. Kadang supervisor tengok, oh lampu lampu office dia terbuka lagi, tak boleh balik lagi. Tak boleh, rupanya lampu bilik dia rosak. Kita punyalah tunggu lampu dia terpadam kan, bawa balik. Rupanya dia punya lampu rosak kan. So but the thing is you have to getting into a good routine lah. Kena disiplin. Okay. Untuk yang GPPS kan, you kena clock in, clock out, clock in, clock out kan. So tapi yang independent tu, yang tak ada GPPS punya grant tu, dia macam biarlah, biar aku kan datang ke tak datang. Tapi cubalah kita disiplinkan diri kan. Start writing chapter 1, 2, 3 and first confirm paper year 1. Tahun 1 tu complete dah. Chapter 1 dah complete, chapter not complete everything lah, just the draft. Complete the draft. Chapter 1, 2, 3 and also publish first confirm paper year 1 tu. Jadi saya cerita apa yang nak dipublishkan tu. Result pun boleh ada. Jadi kita akan tengok lepas ni. Okay, during the year 1 juga you have to come up with the draft of the thesis title. Okay, kenapa? So ni contoh contoh kuantitatif, ni contoh thesis title lah. The example is quantitative impact response analysis of reinforced concrete beam using the SPH method. Okay. So yang saya colorkan tu, impact response analysis is the topic. Reinforced concrete beam is the subject or sample yang you nak test lah. And then the SPH method is the method. Okay, it's the method that you will utilize or you will use in your research. So you just working on the keywords. Kalau nak download apa-apa journal ke nanti, nak cari reference ke apa, nak cerita dengan kawan-kawan ke, you just working on the keywords je. Okay, research aku tentang impact reinforced concrete beam, SPH method, tu je keyword. Then you will working on that particular keywords. So sebab tu draft title ni dia penting lah, walaupun title ni dia akan berubah. Even dah habis Viva pun nanti berubah juga title, tapi at least the keyword tu you dah ada lah. And nanti masa nak buat literature review, we working on this keyword ni. Nak download paper from Science Direct, from Scopus ke mana, nak browse paper, mesti working on that particular keywords kan. Okay, year 1 tadi yang kita cerita pasal introduction lah, chapter 1 dah kena complete lah chapter 1. So apa yang perlu ada dalam chapter 1? Of course overview of your research kan, problem statement, highlight only the problem. So the problem statement is not the problem. That is the problem, banyak ke problem. There is the problem to the panels because the problem statement is not the problem. Faham tak maksud saya? Dia highlight macam-macam dalam problem statement, tapi sebenarnya tu bukannya dia punya problem statement. And then suddenly come up with the objective different with the problem. Oh pening, saya jadi assessor pening. And kita tahu dia ni problem dia apa sebenarnya, tiba-tiba objektif lain kan. So that's why keyword penting. And keyword of your research. Macam tadi kita sebut tiga keywords kan, impact response. So what is the problem on the impact? Reinforced concrete beam. What is the problem at the current issue about the reinforced concrete beam? You have to modify, you have to rectify the current problem and so on. So highlight the problem. And then SPH method. What is the problem for the SPH method? And so that is the problem lah. So kalau you all punya objektif ada 3, so basically you all punya problem statement only 1 page with 3 paragraph. Cukup. Paragraph number 1 cerita pasal problem number 1 related with objective number 1. So second paragraph talk about problem statement number 2 and related with objective number 2. So dia ada cerita, ada sequence dekat situ. And kadang-kadang saya ada pernah baca tesis, dia punya problem statement sampai 3 pages. Jenuh baca, rupanya dia just letak ulang-ulang je balik dia punya ayat, nak nampak macam problem tu problem kan. Tapi yang problem ni kat assessor lah dengan panel. So bila panel lah tengok problem macam ni, dia pun kan problem lah. Okay, so faham maksud saya Maksud saya itu itulah. Kita just compress your problem in only 1 page. Just put the main problem that reflect with your objective. Saya rasa benda ni semua dah disentuh masa research methodology class kan. Tapi again masih lagi berlaku. Masa saya jadi assessor, mesti kita pengalaman saya as a examiner, so masih lagi berlaku. Okay, objective should reflect with the problem statement lah. Macam saya cerita tadi, dia kena ada sequence the problem number 1 should be reflect with objective number 1. And then scope of study, state the limit of your research and also highlight the novelty. So this is my suggestion lah. but I'm not sure whether your supervisor agree or not. But for me, during your write-up for the introduction, chapter 1, highlight as well the originality. Apakah originality ataupun main contribution of your research ni? Supaya kita tahulah, oh your research is about this new thing, new idea. Kalau tak, no point. Kita buat research ni no point sebab tak nampak novelty dia. Kan? Kita pula sebagai panel yang cari kat mana novelty dia ni sebenarnya. Kita cuba cari macam main puzzle lah. Kat chapter number 4, chapter 5 tak jumpa novelty. So kalau boleh lah saya cadangkan, I suggest that put the originality in chapter 1, introduction. Okay. Oh, English, okay. Okay, right. Okay, chapter 2, literature review. Okay, literature review is all about previous study. Okay, divide the topic. Okay, this is the content of the literature review. Divide the topic based on this keyword. Okay, this keyword.
Dr. Sharon.
Answer all the question. For example, what has already been said on that topic. Okay, and then who the writers are, what the prevailing theories and hypotheses are, what methods and results are appropriate and useful. So answer these questions and put in your literature review. For example, if you downloaded one paper, okay, one conference paper or one journal paper, so answer this question and then put in your literature review to review on that particular paper. And then
question.
File up your printed literature review. Okay, file up your printed literature review, journal or conferences in one file. One file. Kan kita ada hard cover yang black front cover tu kan, file kan, beli kat Tesco tu, and then every journal yang you download put in the file. Put in the file. And then summarize the literature review into the table form, okay, like this one, for example, okay, to find out the gap analysis. So this is the example lah, how we review the literature review paper ataupun the previous research paper and make it in the table. Why? Because from this analysis, from this table, you can come up with one review paper. That is your one publication lah, your first publication from this table. Okay, so first you have to find out the author, the year, the paper title, and then what is the objective for that particular paper, and then what type of testing or standard that they use, and then what type of material that they use, and then the main findings, and then find out what is the gap analysis between your study, your research with that research, the previous research, and then make in the table form. So if you have about 100 references, so you have to 100 table, isn't it? No, just pick up the important one. Of course, you can have more than 100 references, but not all you can put in the literature review. Just pick up the important one. Okay. So this is the example lah, contoh kan. So reference, and the column number 1 is reference, column number 2 is for example type of what is the type of specimen, the dimension of the specimen, the method that they use, and then the result. Okay. So this is the way how we review the previous research punya paper lah. Okay, methodology. Okay, so methodology, presenting the methodology in the clear and understandable flowchart. Use the correct graphical symbols. Oh, apa maksud correct graphical symbol? Most of you have learned programming kan? Programming. So programming, they have their own shape and their shape. Every shape they have their own meaning. Kan, for example macam yang diamond ni lah. Tulis ni. So kalau okay, body shape, this shape, and they have their own meaning. This shape, okay. So please use the correct one lah, and correct graphical symbol. Okay. So this is the example number 1. This is the example number 2, methodology. So I will not go in detail about this. You have learned before this during the research methodology class. Okay. Year 1, publish proceeding. Okay, publish critical review paper, proceeding, or you can go journal lah if you have time. So why? because to create clear understanding of the particular research topic. That is the reason why you have to publish your literature review for review paper. And then to strengthen chapter 2, to strengthen the chapter 2. Kadang-kadang you just read you have 100 references, you read the references, you make it in the table form, tapi faham tak? Kan? Tak faham kan? So that when you publish the paper or you write the review paper, then it can enhance the understanding about that particular research topic. So this is why important to publish year one ni, during year one you have published one review paper. And then number 4, to present the gap in the research and then to fulfill the graduation requirement. Ini yang paling penting sebenarnya ni. That one ni, yang last one ni. Okay, paper publication. So dah settle lah. Publication punya requirement dah settle. Daripada literature review je dah boleh keluarkan satu paper, tak perlu tunggu result. And don't wait until you get a result and then barulah nak plan to publish the paper. Boleh dapat Okay. How to develop the outline review paper? Literature review dah buat, table form dah ada. You have more than 100 references. Kan? Contoh lah, for example. And then how to start write up the paper ni. Okay, introduction. In the review paper, they have 3 outline lah. Introduction, the body of the paper, and also the conclusion. Okay, so introduction, apa nak masukkan dalam introduction? So in your introduction, you have to focusing on why this topic is crucial. Explain and focus why this topic is crucial. Based on the keywords, you have the keywords kan, based on the title. So maybe from the 3 keywords, you can come up with 3 papers sebenarnya. Based on the 3 keywords, you can come up with 3 review paper. 1 keywords, 1 paper. Second keyword, second paper. Tapi of course lah, it will involve so many paper references and so on. Okay. And then clear state what is the main issue to be discussed in the introduction. And clear state what is the main issue to be discussed in this paper. Okay, for example, about the reinforced concrete beam. So then you talk about, okay, this review paper will focusing and highlighting about the reinforced concrete beam, blah blah blah. That is the example. Okay, then go for the body of the paper. You have to summary, analyze, evaluate the finding of the previous research. Dan tadi kita dah ada the table kan, this table. And table we have this all this result lah. This result is coming from this reference. Okay, dah summary and then evaluate. Come up with your own judgment. Summary, analyze, and then evaluate the finding of the previous research. Okay, and then highlight the major review or the debatable issue. Highlight the debatable issue. Apa yang sekarang tengah hot? Okay, for example, one case, Shabri, your research is all about concrete admixture. So what is the main issue in the concrete admixture nowadays? Permeability. So you will talk about the permeability because permeability is still not finished yet about the research, kan? Still debatable. So that is the issue lah. The permeability is the issue lah. Itu nanti dia kena highlight dalam the paper tu. Kan? Okay, contoh, Mira, kau punya ni kau punya research pasal apa? What? Guna AI. So the issue apa? Apa problem sebenarnya? Data terlalu banyak, then you want to simplify. So you will come up with the new method lah, how to simplify. So you can discuss lah, that is the issue lah. The issue is how to simplify, because previous study has been done a lot of AE testing, but the problem is so many data and this technique and this method is not applicable for your research. So that is the issue lah. Kan? And then discuss the question that remain in the area. Okay, discuss the question that remain in the area. Apa biasanya kita nak buat research, when we start with our research, we have to come up with the hypothesis, kan, research question. So that is the discuss the question that remain in the area. Kan? Faham tak maksud saya? Okay, nak explain. Tak apa, nanti kita tengok contoh paper. Contoh paper. Okay, conclusion. Conclude the review by presenting the rationale of your opinion. Dan nama pun review paper. So of course you have to come up with your own opinion lah. So based on this previous research, based on this previous study, previous method, okay, come up with your rational opinion. So based on this method, what happened? Based on this method, what is your opinion? Based on this material, what is your opinion? And then you can discuss the consequences of your review finding. Contoh kan, based on this review process or review paper, we found that this material is obsolete. Contoh, berani buat macam tu judgement dia, kritik orang. Kan, contoh lah kan. So we can come up with a future works, introduce new material contohnya. Itu dia punya consequences daripada review tu lah. Kan? Okay, tak apa. Kalau rasa macam tak dapat dapat idea macam mana nak buat review paper sebenarnya, you can download from browser lah, Science Direct, from Scopus punya research engine tu boleh tengok contoh-contoh previous punya review paper. Macam mana cara dia buat review paper. And, tapi the thing is, this is the keyword lah. Kan? Introduction, the body, and then also the conclusion. Okay, saya nak remind satu. Don't reveal your new ideas or novelty of your research too early. Jangan terlalu eager untuk cerita kat orang, oh this is my novelty, this is my research ideas and okay. Okay. No? Okay, sebab apa? Kita takut, kita khawatir nanti someone ataupun somebody will overtake our research idea. Overtake. Okay. So please don't reveal your new ideas or novelty of your research in the review paper. Just review saja and then gives your opinion, rational opinion. That's all. Enough. And
sebab review paper ni kan sekarang macam buat semua jadi macam semua buat semua review.
Summary, yes, of course, summary, and then you have to come up with your own opinion lah. Yes. Yes, correct, betul. Kalau you just reporting saja, it's not review paper lah. Reporting, report. Memang kena reject lah nanti kalau hantar ke publisher. So when you presenting the previous research in the table form, and then come up with your own judgment, your opinion, and then discuss the consequences of your review. After review all of this paper, what is your opinion or recommendation for the future work? But still not reveal your idea. Jangan dulu, kan? But you punya journey is still long. Nanti someone dah tahu, oh bolehlah buat ni, dia pun panggil sailang Okay. Boleh dapat the idea how to come up with the review paper. Ke dah buat dah review paper? Dah ada dah. Anis ada dalam, Anis student PhD saya, first semester ni dia dah buat satu review paper. Saya suruh dia buat masa PKP tu lagi. Kita dah hantar dah untuk publish. So masa PKP tu daripada tak buat apa, baik buat review paper. Dah publish dah satu, dah adalah satu paper. Okay, ni kalau you just nak tengok lah the example of the review paper. Okay, you can browse from Science Direct punya browser, Scopus punya browser. Dia punya title tengok macam tu, Literature Review on the Mechanical Properties of Material After Survey. So this is all about review paper ni. Tengok tajuk dia dah tahu dah. When we see the title, we know already this is review paper. Okay. So tengok the second example, the degradation or mechanical properties of polymer nanocomposite, a review. Geopolymer concrete, a review. Ni semua belum ada result lagi ni. Belum ada result pun. It's just review saja paper orang. So please present lah satu paper ataupun publish lah satu paper from your literature review. Okay, first year, of course you have to read papers, a lot of them, take as many courses as you can, getting into a good routine. That's why I mentioned before, time management, and then create good relationship between you, your supervisor, technician, labmate, and Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Okay, this is the tips. Don't, first year is not a honeymoon. Memang dah biasalah kita dengar selalu honeymoon, tapi yelah, this is the reality lah. First year ni dia macam nak masuk lab tak boleh kan, tak tahu nak buat apa. So come up with the one paper lah, review paper. Okay. Don't underestimate how long it will take to write up. Okay. Don't underestimate how long it take to write up. Don't expect that you have a long time to complete your thesis. Baru register last February kan, lama lagi 3 years. Don't expect because time very fast. So don't show the bad first impression to your supervisor. Be punctual kalau ada meeting and then be polite with your supervisor. Okay, now we move to second year. So second year, write your thesis chapter as individual manuscript for publication. So I'm not sure lah whether a supervisor agree or not. This is my suggestion. I did this for my PhD and also I did for my first PhD student, Alhamdulillah, GOT, using this technique. Kan? So means that every chapter represent your objective. Okay, for example, so first of all you have to check your main objective lah frequently. Check objective. Kadang-kadang dia buat chapter 5 bukan dia punya objektif pun. Sebab bila when they did the testing and suddenly they find the graph or the result. Rasa macam cantik result ni. So dia pun masukkan dalam chapter 5. Tapi that is not your objective. So please check again your objective. Is it your result related with your objective? So my suggestion is for chapter 4, of course chapter 4 is all about result. Put all the result and discussion to answer objective number 1 only. So chapter 4 is result and discussion to answer objective number 1. So your thesis will be well organized for you and also for panel, examiner and also your supervisor. It's easy for us to check. Okay, chapter 4 is actually for representing which objective. And sebab kita kan tengok objektif ni, bila kita buat research, we have to make sure that our objective achieve. And we have to achieve all the objective. So sometimes if you combine everything, result for objective number 1, result for objective number 2, result and objective number 3, combined in only one chapter. Can you imagine how to find out the result? Sometimes like play a puzzle. And assessor, panel dia macam main puzzle. Graph ni untuk objektif mana? Graph ni untuk objektif mana? Kan? So if you organize your thesis separately, for example, chapter number 4 is for objective number 1, chapter number 5 is objective number 2, chapter number 6 is objective number 3. If you have to combine, okay, for example, objective number 1 and objective number 2 has the strong sequence, and so you can combine. Otherwise, separate the chapters. Okay, this is my tips lah. And tak tahulah, it depend on your supervisor. Some supervisor they are tend to banyaknya.
Okay, I'm sorry. Our speaker has some technical problem. So just wait for about 10 or 15 minutes. We will encounter this problem. Thank you.
And please make sure that the slides will be provided later on after the section. This section is completed. That will be appreciated.
After the session, we will provide the slide and the recorded video.
So you will share it in the group, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you.
Hi Arif, this is Khairul speaking. Arif.
Yes, Carol.
Yeah, but, I just like to ask how we can interrupt the presentation via online because I just tried to voice out a few times, but it doesn't get any response from speaker.
We will have a Q&A session.
I
If
see.
the speaker will not respond to your question, we will open a Q&A session after the sharing.
That's great. I will wait for that. Thank you so much, Arif.
Okay, thank you.
Dah? Okay, dah. Okay, sorry technical problem. Okay, so basically this is all about to organize chapter 4, 5 and 6. But if you have more than 3 objectives, so maybe you can combine. Okay, you can combine chapter 3 or chapter 4. Sometimes chapter, okay, for example, chapter 2 and chapter 3. Chapter 2 is all about experimental result. Chapter 3 is about validation of the experimental result using numerical simulation. So then you can combine actually. And you can combine. But if it really needs separate chapter and then separate it. Don't combine in only one chapter. And it's hard for you and also for panel to understand the result for that particular topic lah. Okay, publish journal scopus. Why? Year 2 you have to publish journal paper based on the result. Of course, during your second year you can have result lah, and from your experimental result or from numerical simulation result, and so then publish them. Why? To create clear understanding of chapter 4 or chapter 5. For example, if you publish the result from chapter 4 that according to the objective number 1, then it can enhance the understanding about the chapter 4, for example. And if you want to combine chapter 4 and chapter 5 become one paper, then it's good for you to create clear understanding about the chapter 4 and also chapter 5. Okay. And then to get review comment from the journal reviewer. Normally journal reviewer is from expert on that particular topic or that particular research field. So they will comment your paper. So their comment is good for you. Their comment is very good for you. And sometimes dia akan kritik yang rasa macam down juga lah kan. But then it's okay. Please take it as a positive review or comment and then enhance the quality of your discussion in your thesis. Okay. So choose appropriate target journal. Okay, please remember you have to achieve 2 papers publication. Don't target very high quality one, Q1, Q2. It's okay, it's good for you actually. But then please remember that you have very limited time for your research program, 3 years, 2 years. Itu nak publish Q1, Q2. Do you have ample time for that? But our academic regulation, back to our academic regulation, it's only for Scopus. Okay, I will try my best. After finish my Viva Voce, I try to publish another one paper. Itu. But this is for my academic regulation. I just fulfill the minimum requirement, and I think insyaAllah I will try my best to publish Q1 journal. Itulah. Sikit lah kan. Defend nama pun defend. Viva kan. Viva tu kan kita defend, kita punya research kan. Tapi check balik, tak tahulah kalau academic regulation dah baru kan, kena Q1. Serius? So you have to struggle on that lah. Okay. But the thing is, year 1 tu you dah publish satu paper. Year 1 tu, from literature review. From literature review, try to go for Q1 lah. Kalau boleh. Tapi review paper ni, it is hard to get Q1 because you have to review very critical one, and that the issue is very hot issue. And otherwise, it will not publish your paper lah. They will suggest you to go for Q3 or Q4 or any other journals. And, okay. Tak apa, relax, tak apa. Okay. So this is about the second year lah, publish journal. Okay, let's see what you have to do during the second year. The second year is probably the most important period. So right up as you are going, okay, don't stop. Okay, don't stop writing. And then don't panic, take a break. This student needs a holiday too, but short break lah. Jangan long break. Long break dia kata nak break kejap lah, pening lah. 2 tahun break. Tu bukan apa break namanya tu. Okay, breakdown So keep the momentum, and then please backup your data, all PhD file or your master file or research file, everything online storage or external hard drive. It's very important ni. Kalau hilang data, tak ada backup. Okay, so backup your data file, everything lah. Okay, don't meet your supervisor with only plain paper. Be prepared for supervision meeting. Sometimes supervisor dia akan bagi apa? WhatsApp. Please see me now or please see me tomorrow. You just bring one plain paper je. So please be prepared lah for supervision meeting. Don't expect every experiment to work. You have to start thinking about the plan B lah. And what happen if this machine not working? So what is your plan B? What is plan C and so on? Don't be a perfectionist. It's good, but PhD and master is about a time. And so don't to be a perfectionist lah. After finish your Viva, after finish your study, then perfect lah macam mana pun. And don't create problem with your supervisor. Don't lose your motivation, keep praying, and don't get distracted by pointless or time wasting crap. Okay, third year, dan habis dah ni, dan habis study lah. Conclusion. So normally third year ni you just touch up all the chapter 1, chapter 2, and then return back to chapter 2. Chapter 2, literature review, yes, of course. You have to check again the year, the year, because sometimes maybe the research is obsolete because we have come up with the new knowledge. So you have to put the new paper lah, or new reference in your thesis. Okay. So conclusion. Okay, conclusion, briefly highlight the answer to the main research objective only. Highlight only that thing. Jangan macam-macam letak dalam conclusion. Just highlight what is the main research objective and answer the objective only. You put the objective number 1, what is the answer? What is your conclusion? Chapter number 2, objective number 2, what is your answer for that particular objective? Objective number 3, what is the finding? What is your conclusion? That's all. Tak perlu banyak-banyak. And then clearly state what the new knowledge you have presented in your thesis. Apa apa yang you dah dapat. So based on this study, we have come up with the new empirical formula contohnya. Tapi tak perlu letaklah the empirical formula because the empirical formula is already stated in the chapter 4, chapter 5, the previous chapter. So conclusion is just only the text only. No need put the graph, no need put the equation and so on in the conclusion. And then make some recommendation for future work on that particular topic. That's basically about how you arrange conclusion in the final chapter. So third year, you will be the expert. Bila dah third year ni dia dah expert lah, matured, and knowing more about your research, more than your supervisor. Sama supervisor pun tak tahu apa benda yang buat kan. Make sure you have achieved all the research objective. Oh, dah buat conclusion, rupanya objective nombor tu tak siap lagi. Conclusion dah buat. So please make sure that you achieve all the research objective. And the third year is a large investment in time, energy and motivation is needed. Who's the final year here? Third year? Third year. Kalau third year dah tak datang lagi dah macam isi seminar ni. Don't forget to backup your data, all files, online storage and also external hard drive. Please backup. Okay. Plan your submission deadline. Okay, kalau tak nak bayar yuran semester depan, semester ni dah bayar, dah hantar the thesis lah, the draft of the thesis. Otherwise you have to pay the fees, the tuition fees. And every semester is about money. Tuition fees, rental house, survive for food. And so please shorten your study lah. Preparing for your Viva. Third year ni dah mula start to preparing for your Viva session lah. Dah imagine Viva nanti nak pakai baju apa? Baju apa Okay, don't rely on your supervisor to rewrite everything you write. Don't do that. Okay, during the third year. Sometimes dia buat aja, nanti biar supervisor lah proofread. Kan? Don't rely on your supervisor. Supervisor pun kadang dia ada banyak kerja. Jadi dia akan jadi panjang cerita dia. You submit to your supervisor and hope that okay, after 1 week your supervisor will return back your chapter. No. Kalau you rely on your supervisor, habislah. Kan? So don't take a long vacation or holiday macam saya cakap tadi. Don't keep your stress to yourself, share it. Postpone writing will cause delays and don't only focus on final chapters because you have to return back to your chapter 1, chapter 2, touch up sikit lagi. And then don't get distracted on the critics from others. Apa lah yang kau buat ni, reason kau buat ni kan, dia kritik. Don't bother about that. Just focus on your research. Kadang-kadang kawan-kawan datang lab, dia kacau-kacau kita kan. Benda kau buat ni kan. So just focus on your research. Viva dah pun dah. Okay. So what you should do during the Viva, understand very well on your thesis, every chapter and every single written words. Yang you tulis dalam thesis tu, you have to understand. And reread your thesis. Talk to colleague who have successfully gone through their Viva and ask their advice lah. Talk with your senior, siapa yang dah lepas Viva, tanya dia macam mana kan. Practice how to ask basic question. What is it about? What did you do? What did you find? What does that matter? So when you answering this question, you are actually enhance your ability lah to answer the question during the Viva session. And know your examiners. Okay, know your examiners. Then don't be late, don't be rigid, don't too defensive. This is kata jangan buat lah. Okay? Don't do this during the Viva session. Don't overconfident. Don't try to give uncertain answer. Don't take offense and get angry. Kena provoke sikit, dia marah pula. And, don't speak too fast, don't talk like a politician. Ada ke macam ni? Politician kan? And then don't be overly humble. Terlalu ni sangat kan, saya tak boleh juga. Don't too nervous, control it. Okay? So this is just tips lah. Okay, when you facing on this Viva session. Okay, so saya rasa itu sajalah untuk my study session. Okay. Saya bagi kepada moderator.
Thank you so much for the sharing session from our speaker. Now we will proceed to the Q&A session. Okay. Firstly, I will write the chat that being posted in this Google meeting. So the first question is by Zahara Hashim Karim. Salam Doctor, can proceeding to pre-viva without any publication? This is, I'm not sure about that.
Proceed viva without publication.
Without any publication. Okay, that is no. So next question is how will be published and writing the first paper in semester 2 when doing PhD? Because it will be just literature review.
Yes, as I mentioned before, you can actually write your first paper from your literature review finding. Of course, you need extensive review lah. Kalau 5 references nak buat dia review paper, macam mana? Kan you have to a lot of review references lah. There is no such of the minimum number or maximum number for references. It depends on how you how you giving your opinion with that kind of review. And you can go for 100 papers, 200 papers, but no limitation and no minimum number. It depends on how you develop the review process lah. So of course during your first year, you can have more than 100 papers, isn't it? Ada dapat first year, boleh dapat 100 papers. Kalau maksudnya tak membaca tu. Download je. When you download the paper, of course you will making the table. Kan? Okay, the author names, the title, and then the finding, apa yang dia buat sebenarnya. And then try to find out the gap analysis between your study and their study. Of course, you are using this material, for example. So this research using another material, for example. So make the gap analysis. Dah dapat one paper, one review. Then go for another review. So I think you can publish perhaps lah, mungkin 50 references. I think is enough. 50 references. 50. And because review paper is all about how you review the paper. It's not the maximum number is 100. It's compulsory. No. And it depends on how you review the paper based on my tips yang saya bagi tadi tu lah. And you can check by using Google Scholar or Scopus browser or Science Direct the example how they review the paper. Tapi you mungkin terkejut lah kalau tengok Science Direct, dia punya references untuk review paper 200 pages. 200 references. And so that's why I suggest to you to go for conference paper. Proceeding. And conference proceeding is not so tough lah. Tapi make sure dia indexed by Scopus. We have many conferences that offer publication for index Scopus lah. For example, IOP, apa lagi selain daripada IOP? Dulu kita ada Webmatek, tapi Webmatek dah discontinue. Yes, IEEE kan. So go for it. Okay, during your first year. For at least you dah ada satu paper. Saya jawab je, tanya how many review references kan.
Okay, thank you Doctor. So next question is by Sanjoy Debnath. He asked that can I refer my own paper during PhD that I published?
Sorry, again, can you?
Can I refer my own paper during PhD that I published?
There or self-citation. Citation is actually not recommended lah, because you self yourself kan. So it's not recommended. It's not, but there is no compulsory requirement or regulation that saying that you cannot cite your paper in your thesis. I never found any regulation on that. But then by ethical is not recommended lah. Okay. Anyway, it depends on your supervisor. If your supervisor allow to do that, then go for it. And apa-apa pun sebab you are under the supervision of your supervisor. Saya cuma boleh give the tips kan. But it's no orang kata regulation lah on that particular soalan.
Okay, next question. Salam Doctor, beside on the content, how many references do we need to make a good quality review paper?
Tu saya cakap tadi lah. Dia no limitation lah. No maximum number and no minimum number. Even for 50 pages, you can create your first review paper, but based on how you review, how you giving your rational opinion. Boleh faham tak maksud saya? If you just presenting without giving your opinion, so no need. Even you have 100 references, tapi just presenting, just reporting je, tapi tak ada buat critical discussion and so on, so meaningless. Kan your paper is not your review paper is not actually review the paper, just reporting je. Kan? You have summarize, evaluate, and come up with your own rational opinion. Okay.
Next question. So about this question, she asked that, Salam Doctor, may I know whether research framework is preferred to be in chapter 1, introduction, or chapter 3, research methodology?
Maksudnya dia punya outline outline.
Kira research framework boleh jadi scope boleh juga kan kalau macam framework kan?
Scope is about all your research punya boundary scope. So outline of the research ada yang buat pattern. Dia punya in your introduction you have you can actually giving some ideas. Chapter 1, of course chapter 1 is about introduction, and then in chapter 1 they also discuss about the following chapters. For example, okay, chapter 2, in this thesis chapter 2 will explain about previous research. Chapter 3 is about methodology. Chapter 4 is about this topic. Chapter 4 chapter 5 about this topic. Ada juga yang buat macam tu in introduction. Yes, research outline, yes, correct. It's option. You can put the research outline in the introduction, or you just put in the separate chapters later on. I mean, research outline you highlight in chapter 3. Methodology pun boleh. This is actually the way how you organize your thesis lah. Ada yang suka macam tu. Ada macam saya tak berapa prefer to biar nampak macam apa sebenarnya in chapter 4, what is chapter 5. Jadi macam giving eager to the reader untuk tahu what's next. Kalau you dah giving everything in chapter 1, so no surprise lah nanti. Sebab dia dah macam dah tahu. It depend on supervisor and also to yourself lah, how to organize your thesis in that way.
Okay. So next is, if I already publish every objectives of my research accordingly, can I combine it all to make the IF paper?
The same result. If the same result, you cannot go for that lah. If it's a different result, it's okay. If you already publish that kind of result, so you cannot republish. Unless the result is definitely not same lah, not similar with the previous one. Okay, for example, objective number 1 in chapter number 4, so publish one paper, and then you publish again the research finding or the research result. So I think it's not it's not good ethic lah. Because even though you publish in the different publisher, kan, siapa tak tahu, dia orang tak tahu pun publish the same things, but I think it's not a good thing lah. Sebab dia kata dia nak lepaskan the maximum the minimum number of publication kan. Dia dah publish dekat sini conference, next year dia publish lagi the same same result. Yang penting lepas kata dia. So I think it's not good ethics lah kan. It's all about ethical lah. And it's all about ethical.
Okay, saya rasa daripada Google Meet ni dah tak ada. Cuma daripada kertas lah dia orang kasih soalan tu prior sebelum
Okay, difference between Scopus Index Conference and Scopus Index. Scopus Index Conference and Scopus Index sama je, tak ada difference. Nanti ada index by Scopus, journal pun ada index by Scopus, proceeding pun ada index by Scopus, same things lah. What is the first step that we need to do in organizing our thesis into the journal? Planning lah. And my second question, how to divide our output data or result into several journals? Okay, ini macam cakap tadi lah. You can divide your research finding based on the objective. Yang sebut tadi, objective number 4 is all about result for answering objective number 1. Chapter 5 is all about to answering objective number 2. So then you can come up with the separate journal lah. So chapter 4, this journal. Chapter 5, this journal. Okay. How write the journal to Q1. How write. Tu ingat how to write journal to Q1. Oh, this is, you have to attend extensive seminar about how to publish Q1. It's very detailed one lah. Kan, the way how you rebuttal with your reviewer, the way how you this is all about technique jugalah, kan, Q1. So I'm not giving the technique lah in this session lah, to details nanti. Okay.
Tuan Arif,
And go for minimum number lah, ataupun minimum
Arif,
requirement for Scopus only, in Q3 or Q4. As long as it's indexed by Scopus, go for it.
Tuan Arif,
Later
question.
after you finish your study. How to make our paper accepted by reviewers? How to make our paper accepted by reviewers? Answering all the comments. Just answering all the comments, rectify your paper, and then supposed to be no problem. And can I still publish? Can I still pushing to publish the paper in 1 year at the end of 2021, as I am lacking still in chapter 2 and currently going to chapter 3, while the simulation that I currently doing process slowly than I expected. Could I inquire tips on good writing journal and thesis in time of 2 months, and what the due date for good date to publish and where? Oh, ini soalan ke statement ni? Okay. Dia kata macam ni lah, maksud dia, how can I still pushing to publish the paper in 1 year at the end of 2021? So, even though I'm still lacking in chapter 2 and currently going to chapter 3. Boleh, no problem. Macam saya cakap tadi, then no maximum number of references. If you have 50 pages or 50 references, you can still go for the review paper, as long as your review tu lah, how critical your review process tu.
Doctor, question.
I want to know about chapter 3. Okay, chapter 3 also all about the methodology lah. Just explain what you want to do. What kind of testing they want to implement, what kind of numerical testing they want to be implemented. So this is all about what you want to do, or what you want, what yang you dah buat lah, the past thing lah. Kalau proposal, you propose lah apa benda yang you nak buat in methodology, all about planning lah. Tapi for thesis, of course past thing lah, apa benda yang dah buat. Kita just reporting je dalam methodology. Methodology dia tak ada critical discussion, very light punya chapters. Methodology is all about light punya chapters lah. You just reporting apa yang you dah buat, the past things. Tapi go for chapter 4, chapter 5 is all about the discussion, critical discussion. Okay, what is the effective way to jot down notes after reading a paper? Making table lah. Making table. Macam yang saya tunjuk tadi lah. How to write to make people understand. How to write to make people understand. Send to proofread. Proofreader will try to rectify your your writing style. Okay. How to write the best journal? Dah cerita tadi. How do I make my thesis result publish? How do I make my thesis result publish? Write paper. You will not suddenly publish without do nothing. So kena make paper lah. So how to convert my thesis into paper? How to convert my thesis into paper? Saya cerita tadi lah, tak ulang balik lah. How to write easy and correct thesis and journal tricks. Okay, journal tricks. During the first year, go for conference. Okay. Second year, go for journal. That is the trick. Jangan first year tu dah pergi kepada Q1. The strategy is go for the lower one. During your first semester, go for the lower journal. Okay, but please make sure that index by Scopus. And then later on, if you confident with your result, go for the higher one. That is the trick lah. How to publish conceptual article in good journal? This is all about review lah. Okay, how critical you review the paper. I will not have any specific question. How to write a journal article, dah explain. Can you explain a little bit about review paper? Already explained. How to overcome writer's block. What does it mean? How to overcome writer's block. Just I want to get a knowledge how to find a journal that related to our project. Okay, how to find a journal. Research keyword lah. Okay, research keyword. If you are in mechanical engineering, takkan nak publish civil engineering. Of course, kena reject lah. Your reviewer is supposed to be from the expert of that particular research area. If you publish with the different journal, publisher, and then you might have the problem lah. So please check with your keywords. That's why keyword of your research is very important from the title of your thesis. Okay, I skip for this one, and I want to know about the chapter 3. It's already explained as well. Does PhD student need to publish paper according to thesis content organization? Yes, correct. Kena publish lah according to the chapter lah. Kan macam saya cakap tadi, chapter 1, chapter 2, one paper, review paper. Chapter 4 is your second paper. Tips to organize thesis, already explained as well. I would like to ask about the style arrangement. What kind of style? Hairstyle or what? What is different between research paper and thesis? Different research paper and thesis. Research paper is not, thesis is about reporting and also discussing thoroughly your research work. Because your assessment will be based on thesis. Your panel will review, or I mean the panel will, examiner will assess based on your thesis, not from your paper. So paper is just the briefing ataupun dia punya summary of your chapter 4, for example. Chapter 5, that is just briefing, then publish paper. But thesis go in details, comprehensive one. Okay. From the thesis, can we publish more than one journal article? Yes. Okay, for your information, my thesis, I published 4 journals. 4 journals. Review from literature review. Chapter 3 about my experimental work, publish 1 paper. Chapter number 3 is all about numerical simulation, the 3 papers. And then finally number 4, I developed new mathematical model, 1 paper. So 4 paper for my thesis. How to simplify our thesis into journal paper, already explained as well. How many articles can publish from 1 thesis? 4 paper from 1 thesis. Okay. So all the question I have here is more on how to write paper from your thesis. So I already explained, and hoping that you get some benefit lah from the my presentation. So I think ada from belakang ni. Oh, okay.
Dia kata please enlighten me on novelty or originality. Does it take into account methods, formulas or anything?
Maksudnya macam mana nak ni?
Adakah novelty tu, the original tu berdasarkan methods ataupun formula yang kita buat research?
Okay, when you do your research work, you are not actually solve the world's problem. Just part of the world problem, just the little one. So if you modify the new existing, the existing empirical formula, you modify the existing numerical formula by introducing 1 parameter or 1 coefficient, that is the originality. That's all. No need to come up with the new mathematical model, because you have very short time, 3 years, to develop new mathematical model. With the new, override Einstein's punya rules and so on. So I think it's not enough lah for 3 years. So just highlight what is the main contribution. Okay, for example, your research is actually modifying the existing existing empirical formula, and then highlight in the introduction, in this thesis we introducing new coefficient 0.3. So 0.3 is your originality. That's all. That is the originality, novelty. Okay. Lagi.
for journal publication and conference extending education funding from UTHM dekat student.
Ada kan?
Ada. Daripada yang pendidikan sampai dekat PSS lah.
Cik Swaza ada kan? So graduate study has offered publication fees lah. RMC as well. Research Management Center and also CGS. Kan? So both sources you can ni lah, get the financial support for your publication. Okay? Moderator tolong jawab. Ada lagi? Macam saya kena bye-bye ni.
Dia lagi buat sekarang ada lagi soalan kedua. Dia kata chapter 4, 5 and 6 are classified to explain the result and discussion of their respective objective. Then what is the name of chapter 4, 5 and 6 will be?
Macam mana? Maksudnya?
Tadi macam saya katakan kan chapter 4, 5 and 6 kan buat untuk setiap question objective kan.
Alright.
So the title
Oh, okay. The title for respective chapters. Okay, for example, okay, I take one example. Your objective number 1 is all about mechanical properties of this material. Contoh. Your second objective is the experimental result for reinforced concrete beam, for example. And then number 3 is all about numerical simulation of reinforced concrete beam using FEM. So your chapter's title will be according to the objective keywords. Keywords. So of course nanti chapter 4, okay, back to your objective is about mechanical properties kan. So the title of the objective number 4 is mechanical properties of this material. This is the title for chapter number 4. So chapter number 5 tadi also about experimental result kan. So experimental result for reinforced concrete beam under what kind of testing. And then chapter number dia macam you cannot just simply say that okay chapter number 4 dah chapter number 4. Chapter number 5 dah chapter number 5. So making catchy punya title lah to attract your panel or attract your reader to read more about the content of the chapter. And can you imagine if the chapter number 4 is just experimental result? Chapter number 6 is numerical simulation. Is it attractive for you? Kan? So if you make some title yang catchy sikit, experimental result for this using this, okay, dia pun akan attract the readers to read more, okay, about the content of the chapter. This is the way how you ni lah. Kalau siapa yang suka buat blog sini, semua blogger kan, ataupun yang kalau you all buat status Facebook boleh pula. Status Facebook dia punya tajuk dia semua orang baca kan, boleh pula. So this is the way how you attract the reader lah kan. The creativity lah, based on the creativity. But personally, I recommend that you put the title of the chapter according to the objective keyword. Okay. Penonton di studio ada soalan? Ada? Amirul ada? Okay. Tak apalah, kita discuss, kita bual-bual je. Okay, gap analysis. Okay, how to write gap analysis? We see. Okay, when you review the paper, you know already what is the finding of that particular paper. Kan? So that, okay, of course, the previous one using this material, for example, you are using RHA. So this paper using POFA, for example. So RHA and POFA is the gap. Is the gap. So write up in your review saying that okay, in this study they use POFA. So in my study, I'm trying to using RHA in the concrete mix in order to understand more details about the mechanical properties or the strength of that particular concrete. So that is the gap lah. Gap is about the differences. What is your differences between your research and also the previous one? Sebab kita tak nak repeat. Research kita tak boleh repeat orang dah buat. Orang dah buat mechanical properties using this material. So we did the same thing. So bukan research namanya. Sebab benda tu dah ada. So kita try untuk improve or kita try to another materials. Yes, betul. So sebab tu kita kena buat review paper. Bila kita buat review paper, then kita boleh come out dengan gap analysis. Lepas tu baru kita boleh masukkan balik dalam kita punya thesis in chapter 2. To enhance and to apa kata better understanding about the chapter 2 lah. Kan, if you have a review paper. Okay, tak ada lagi? Betul lah session.
So next, I will invite our President Jesse to give a honorarium to our speaker, Dr. Shara. Okay, thank you for our speaker, Dr. Sharul. So thank you for the registration coming to our sharing session today. So for the next session, Jesse will have 2 sessions, if I'm not mistaken. So the next session will be Dr. Mahadi on 20th July. This session is about GOT, and the tutor program is Dr. Mahadi, which will be held on 20 July. So we will give the Google form and the advertisement later. Okay, thank you for this one. I think that's all for today. So have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. See you in the next sessions. Bye bye.